Hello everyone, this is KenBroTech from KenBroTech and welcome back. So in the last video, we looked at how we can set up our projects, how we can set up our application within the project and our views and our URLs, how to do URL mapping and things of that sort. Now we are going to move a little bit deeper now that we have that foundation set up. Now, as far as building a proper application is concerned, and let me collapse these things over here. We are going to work with our views, okay, something we've seen over here. Our models we are going to look at later, which has to do with the database, and our templates. So the templates is going to be our HTML files for which we are going to get our user interface from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder over here. So now I've collapsed everything in order not to confuse myself. I've clicked outside here and I'll click on this and I'll create in a file over here. I'm going to call template. So now template is going to house all the templates, HTML stuff I have for this particular project. Once again, we have this template over here. We need to go into settings.py and inform our project that yes, we're going to work with templates. And as you can see over here, we have templates over here and we have dirs, which has to do with the directory. So we need to inform our Django project that yes, we have a directory for our templates. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call this base DRL, which stands for base directory, and I'll do a / and inside this quotation I'll have to specify the name of the template folder I have over here. The name of the template folder is templates. So I'll save this, and now Django is well aware that anytime we are referring to a template, it has to look into this and it is going to find what we specified. Alright, so now that this has been settled, we actually don't need this moving forward as far as HTTP response is concerned. So I'm going to clear this and I'm also going to clear this. Now we are going to work with our template, so we don't need HTTP response. So what I'm going to do is, now you can see that we have this render method ported for us by default, and that's what we are going to use. So we are going to say return render and want to render a template, and that's why we are doing this. So inside this render method, you can see that we need to pass in a request, the name of the template and context and other parameters if we want to. So we definitely have to pass in a request, and here we need to pass in the name of the template, and the name of the template for starters, let's do index.html. all right, so we have index.html over here, and let me just clear this let me just clear this over here. Clearly we are going to have some issues over here because we don't have anything about over here. So let me also clear about. All right, so we just have this page showing up over, and if I'm to come back here and go here to come and refresh, we are going to get an error, and it says, "Oh, template does not exist at index.html," and that's simply because when we specified in our settings.py that whenever you want a template, go into the template folder and you are going to see the template we specified over here, which is index.html. Currently we don't have index.html, we haven't created it yet. That's why it is yelling at us that this template you are calling does not exist. All right, so in order to fix it, then we need to come and create that template file over here. So I'm going to click on this and I'll click on file, and now I'm going to say index.html. Once again, let me just close these ones up over here, and I'm just going to generate a starter template, and then from this we are going to work. So I have this HTML starter template, and I'm just going to say index page for my title. I have index page over here, and inside my body I'm going to say, I'm going to put this in an h3 tag and saying this is the template next page. All right, so this is a template in this page. So whenever I save this and come back here to come and refresh, that it is now rendering, it is able to see that yes, there's an index.html over there, and it is able to render this from that template. All right, now that we have this going, clearly we've seen our views, in a little bit of the URLs, and we've also seen templates that we have to structure things in a more systematic way. Now, in order to work our way around it, we are going to use Bootstrap for our styling. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to restructure things over here properly. By doing so, I'll come into templates and I'm going to create a folder over here. I'm going to call this partials. I'm also going to create another folder. Sorry, I'll click on templates once again and I'll create another folder. I'm calling this block. Now I'm calling this block in order for it to correspond with the name of the app. So anytime I have a template that has to do with something within block, I'm just going to put it over here. So clearly I can now switch or carry this index.html over here, and I'll click on yes, I want to move it in there. So now that we have index.html inside this, now when I come here again and come and refresh, these are hot template doesn't exist. Yes, because the directory has now changed. Now whenever it looks inside the template folder, as we've specified in here, that look into templates folder, and we are going to see let me also show you the URLs with the views. You are seeing that whenever you look into index, you are going to see a file by name index.html. Now currently index does not have by default the template folder does not have by default index.html. Index is now inside the block subfolder. So in order to fix things, you are just going to do a block and a / index, and that is where exactly index is. So when I come back after doing that to come and refresh, now it is able to see index.html. Now let's move forward and restructure things over here. Now inside partials, I'm going to create two files over here. The first one is going to be base.html, and the next one is going to be nav.html. All right, so next I'm going to do is we are going to look at or we are going to go into Bootstrap, and inside Bootstrap I'm going to click on all releases. We are going to grab the CDN, and I want the version 4.6. all right, so in version 4.6, I have a video on Bootstrap. I'm going to link the description below. If you are started over here, I think that's going to help you. But for those of you who are quite okay with Bootstrap, you're going to grab the starter template over here. So I'll click on copy, and inside my base.html, I'm just going to paste this over here. All right, so everything is in here and we are going to work from here. Let me just shrink this a little bit. All right, let me pull this down. Okay, so we have this over here, and okay, so we have this over here, and let me change this title into next page. All right, so as far as Django is concerned, we have a concept we are going to look at, and this is going to help us, and it's going to cut down on the number of codes we write for our styling. We are going to look at template inheritance, and what template inheritance does is you can actually inherit this base.html into other pages, and this is what I mean. Now when I clear, and of course I'm going to clear everything over here, all right, inside index.html, and when I come into base.html, and for instance what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend. Okay, so I'm going to put out a template tag over here. So the template tag is going to be the curly bracket and 2 percentage signs. Yeah, number of template tags, but then this is the first one we are looking at. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say extends, and when I say extends, that means this particular index.html extends from base.html. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say extends, and in order to route things in the proper way, I'm going to say partials / and I'll say base.html. All right, so what have I done here? What I've done here is almost as if copying this whole thing and putting it over here, because I'm extending this everything over here as far as Bootstrap is concerned and bringing it over here. So even without writing a single line of code over here, now look, if I decide to write, let's say in an h1 tag, I say brony, no, let me say postscribe. So this is postscribers, and when I save this and come back here to come and refresh, now you have postscribers showing up over here. Now bear in mind, this is index.html. We haven't written anything over here as far as postscribers is concerned, but because we are extending from partials, and inside partials we have base.html, that is why we're able to grab everything and put it over here as if it is actually this index.html that has this content over here. And that's what we call template inheritance. So we inherited everything from base.html into our index.html. Now let's do a little more of template inheritance over here, and we are going to look at the nav. And for our navbar inside Bootstrap, I'm going to say I'm going to search for navbar. So when I click on this get navbar, I'm going to grab this particular template. So I'll click on copy and I'll paste it over here. Now if you are not used to Bootstrap, I just want to do some modifications over here. So this light background over here, I'm just going to change this to primary. So I have primary navbar and the background is primary as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop down over here and put in a container class, so that I kind of put this in a container class, and I'll come to the very bottom, come and put up a container over here. I don't need this form, I mean the search form over here. I also don't need this disabled link over here. I also don't need this drop down, and yeah, I don't need this as well. So I'll clear this, and yeah, so this is just about it as far as clearing things are concerned. All right, so for now we are good to go. Now let's come back to our base.html, and let me clear this once again. No, let me just put this one on top. So inside base.html, we are going to use a template tag over here, and this template tag, like I said, we are putting the double curly the curly bracket and 2% signs. Okay, and what I'm going to say is I'm going to say include. Okay, so I'll say include, or includes, no, I think include, and I'm going to say partials / nav.html. All right, so I'm saying that this base.html should include this bunch of code I have over here. All right, so when I come back here and come and refresh, and see that we have this navbar showing up over here, but clearly you can see that the items over here are missing out. Let me zoom out a little bit. The items over here are missing out, and in order to fix that, let's go into navbar now, or nav.html, and just going to apply some Bootstrap classes over here. So I'll do a txt-white over here. I'll copy this, C, and I'll put it over here as well, and here as well. So when I save this, come back over here, you can see that we have this showing up over here. Good. Now I just want to clear this one off and build things the proper way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a block content over here. What that simply does is, once again, there's a template tag I'm going to use. I'm going to say block content, and for this one I'm going to end block over here. All right, so after block content, I'll end block. I just have to grab this, Control C, and put this over here And once again, let me come back to come and refresh. Clearly, subscribers is going to vanish because we don't have it over there. Now, when I come and do, let's say, call in the container class over here and do an h3. Let me do yes h3. A KenBroTech and save. When I come here to come and refresh, we have KenBroTech showing up over here. Now, this block content block or template tag we have over here simply is telling us that anything we have within this block content is going to be fixed over here. So now, for instance, we can have another one, and let's see, we are going to call this block menu. Yeah, when we say block menu, we just have to end it over here. We are going to say end block. When we do end block, and just copy this, Control C, put this over here, Control V, and inside block menu, let me once again put in a container class over here, and I'm going to put this in an h1 tag, and I'm going to say block menu side. All right. When I save this and come back over here, you can see that we have this block menu side over here. This is basically means and ways by which we can load, use template tags and things of that sort. We don't need this, but this was for demonstration purposes. Now let's concentrate mainly on the build up to this whole application. All right, so inside this container class, I'm going to have a row, okay, and inside this row I'm going to do a margin top of 5, margin top of 5, padding top of 5 as well. And inside this row I'm going to have a core, that's the core column, and the first demarcation is going to be a core MD4. So this is going to be the first demarcation, and the second demarcation is going to be core MD8 because it has to sum up to 12. All right, and I think I made a mistake over here. String 4 dash. All right, so inside this I would want to have the various blog posts, okay, and that had to do with the card. So inside this I'm going to have my card, and I'm going to have the card body. So inside the card body I'm going to have the row, and inside the row I'm going to have a core MD. I think that one too was 4, and this is going to be the image side of things. Okay, or I'm going to say image, and let's do a core MD, a core MD8 for the block side. So for the core MD8 I can have the post. Okay, now let me save this and actually visualize things over here. So when I save this and come back over here, this is exactly what we are looking for as far as this block is concerned. All right, so you are going to have the block showing up over here, things of that sort. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to have the dates. The dates I'm going to wrap in a small tag. So I'm going to have the dates over here, and let's say I have 20th August, no, 20th June actually, 2021. All right, I'm just going to have a horizontal rule over here. Then I'm going to put this a link tag actually, because I want to link up somewhere, and inside this I'm going to, well, I'll put in some classes over here. So I'm going to say post, first blog post, I'll say first post, and inside of first post I'm going to have a class, and let's say I use h3. All right, so when I come back here to come and refresh, you see this showing up over here, and the content is going to display beneath it. And just before I continue, let me just put out a shadow class over here. This is going to be a Bootstrap shadow class, and it's going to give out that shadow effect. So then also let me also bring out the text itself. That's the content. That's going to be in a paragraph. I have this paragraph over here, and I'm just going to do lorem ipsum dummy text over here. So once I do this, refresh, I have this showing up over here. All right, and I can actually click on this. We are going to look at the detail page and so that. So this is basically what we had for the interface, or what we had over here for where we posted. We are going to look at it later on. And so over here, what I want to do is I just want to have some Bootstrap classes over here. So txt justify so txt justify. In order to justify this, let's just give out margin y of 3. This okay, so I think this is okay. Now what I wanted to do is, let me show you this quickly. So over here I can actually grab this column over here. If I should do Ctrl+C, do a Ctrl and a Ctrl+V, like is this a number of times, we're going to have a number of these posts showing up over here. But as you can see, they are shifted a little bit. We want to have them lined up over here, and we just have to paste them within the same row. So let me just do Ctrl+Z to undo up to this point. All right, so let me just open things up over here. Column has a card. Let's put up this card. This is where we are going to. So let me do a Ctrl+V over here. Come back to come and refresh. This is what we want. Okay. Now, in order to make this look nice as we want, let's do a margin bottom of 5. No, a margin bottom of 2. So when I do a margin bottom over here, a margin bottom of 2 here again, MB2. When I refresh, definitely see the differences over here. Let me just do MY so that it takes the bottom and top Y2. All right, so there's some kind of, a bit of separation over there. Let me just close things up and hit myself a number of times. I just want to show you something. So I'll do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, Ctrl+V, and when I come back to come and refresh, you can see things panning out over here. Let me just MY3. I'll select this and do Ctrl+D to select all of them. Okay, so I'll just do MY-3. Quick effects, all of them. When I refresh, okay, I think this is cool. Now I want to have this navigation bar stick to the top. Okay, I don't want it to scroll alongside. So all that we need to do is to go into our nav.html, and just over here we are going to say fixed top. Okay, we are going to say fixed dash top. All right, so fixed top is going to sort everything for us. So when I come back here and come and refresh, you can see that now it is fixed to the top, and whenever we scroll, things look a little bit okay over here. And let me come back here into our index.html. I think with our padding top, let me change this to 3. When I come back to come and refresh, okay, all right, now this is good. Now this is going to show up over here, this session. And within this session, let me just have a card over here. Let me have a card body. That is card body. I'm going to have this form. Okay, let me just type in h3 over here, the form. All right, so let me just say form. This is where we are going to have the form. Need an my, so my3 over here. I need a shadow as well. All right, so for saving this, okay, I think they are all in line now, and the form is going to come, but we need to look at other things. All right, so in this video we've looked at our templates, how to structure our templates. We look at template inheritance and things of that sort, and I think gradually we are building our application. Now if you find this video very interesting, there are a couple of ways you can help me grow my channel. Kindly subscribe to KenBroTech and don't forget to hit on the notification button so that anytime I release a video you'll be duly notified. Also, share this video with friends and family who find this content very useful. At KenBroTech, we say learn program, you can do it. And also, don't forget to pass in any comments you deem necessary to seek clarification to the question. I'll be glad to answer. Thank you very much. Bye bye.